The Central Bank of Nigeria has expressed satisfaction with the response by commercial banks in Benue State in issuing new notes to the public. The Director of Financial Markets Department of the CBN, Angela Shere Ejembi, led the Central Bank monitoring team to banking halls and ATM spots to ascertain if the new 200, 500 and 1,000 naira notes were being issued to customers. Mayowa Ukwato has details.
Introduced the newly redesigned Naira notes on Thursday, the 15th of December 2022 across the country. The new notes include the 200 Naira, the 500 Naira and 1,000 Naira notes.
There are a number of documents.
But till present, many persons have complained that they have not gotten hold of the new notes. This is a worry to the CBN and their reason for this visit to commercial banks in Benue State. One of the sub-team leaders and deputy director with the CBN states that the 31st December deadline for circulation of the old Naira notes remain sacrosanct.
We don't just want some people to have them, but we want even those in the villages, in the local governments, all around in Benue State, access this money, especially through their ATMs. So we've been going around this money to ensure that, yes, the banks we are working on are actually doing the right thing.
Areas visited included commercial banking hall and ATM spots. The Director of Financial Markets Department of the CBN is satisfied with the response by commercial banks in issuing out the new notes and urged the public to endeavor to dispose the old currencies in their possessions. She adds that all the banks visited lived up to expectations as people who came for withdrawal were issued the new notes.
We don't want anybody in any hamlets here in Benue to be stuck with even a single unit of the old notes. This exercise is ongoing, not just here in Benue, it's ongoing nationwide.
The team is expected to extend desensitization to traditional and religious institutions to ensure that no one is caught in the web of the deadline for the circulation of the old notes. Mayowa Ukwato, TVC News, Makadi.
The Congress of University Academics, that's CONUA, is assuring Nigerians that the era of closing the federal and state universities as a result of industrial action is gone. The national president of the union, Dr. Niyi Sumonu, said this shortly after the maiden National Executive Council meeting of the union in Ile-Ife, Osun State. The union is also appealing to the federal government to pay salaries of members and those of the Academic Staff Union of Universities who embarked on strike last year. Rafiu Hamid has details.
It's the maiden National Executive Council meeting of the Congress of University Academics, CONUA. Members converged on the Ndong Lecture Theatre of the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, for the event. The NEC meeting draws participants from 50 federal and state universities, while 11 universities sent in apologies due to logistics. National executives that will pilot the affairs of the union for the next 2 years emerged. After about 8 hours deliberations, the national president of the union, Dr. Niyi Sumonu, read the communique.
The meeting discussed, among others, the Constitution of the Union and adopted it, having satisfied the purpose of the Union for now. The national officers were nominated and ratified by the NEC.
The union had dissociated itself from the 8-month industrial action of ASU last year. The CONUA president says it will be unjust for the federal government to apply no work, no pay policy on members.
At certain times, students in the universities were asked to vacate by various universities' management. To our mind, what the government is implementing is a no work, no pay policy. We believe we wanted to work, we didn't declare strike. The students that we need to teach were asked to vacate campus. So we are locked out of our job. So it will be unjust for government to apply the no work, no pay policy on us. And on that principle is what we are following, through which we wrote letters to the relevant ministries, and it's consistent that we have never declared strike.
We believe that the formation of CONWA was a patriotic duty. We thought that in forming CONWA, we were demonstrating how people who truly loved this country should act, comply when the directives would promote the development of this country.
CONWA is a breakaway union from the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. CONWA was recently presented with certificate of registration by the Minister of Labour and Productivity, Chris Ngige, in Abuja, which signified the birth of the union. Rafiu Hamid, TVC News, Ile-Ife, Osun State.
Thank you for staying with us. Providing basic health care to Nigerians will be an integral part of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration if voted into office. This was the message of the Better Niger team who visited Ekiti State to offer free medical checkups and donated free eyeglasses to residents. The group says its objective is to have a better Nigeria, and achieving this will mean Nigerians must get it right in the 2023 elections. Hence the call to vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. In attendance was the secretary to the state government in Ekiti State, who joined other team members of the group to kickstart free healthcare program in the southwest.
Ahmed Tinubu has done a lot for us in Ekiti. He has really built our people. So we have the sons and daughters who are now in a higher position now because of his assistance. So this is an opportunity to pay him back of what he has done for us.
It is for us to promote the aspiration of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We're also, apart from free medical outreach, we're also doing various advocacy programs. There are some states where we are taking this advocacy program, letting people see reasons that Asiwaju Tinubu had been the governor in Lagos. We saw what he did. Obi was the governor in Anambra. We saw all he could do. Atiku had been the vice president for 8 years. We saw what he also did as a vice president. So it is right for us to get it right this time around. That's
registration for form is free. Everything we are doing here today is free. To the level of glasses, in support of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed aspiration. He has empowered most of us in Nigeria, especially in the southwest.
A former chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, Professor Protus Uzorma, is intensifying efforts to mobilize grassroots support for the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, PDP. Speaking to a crowd of supporters while officially joining the Labour Party at his local government area in Imo State, Professor Uzorma said the Labour Party's presidential candidate has the credentials to save Nigeria from its current economic challenges. He urged the people to support the Labour Party in the forthcoming elections and also advised them to get their permanent voter cards ahead the polls.
Party that's running in Imo State today, in short, Labour Party is taking upper hand in Imo State today. It's only the party that we are not hiding ourselves. And we are mobilizing. This, for now, is the masses. Masses decide who is going to rule. So we are suffered in Nigeria. So we need to change.
We are talking of a man who has made his debut into Labour Party. And his movement has brought total revolution. His movement has brought a very different political narrative that is speaking for itself.